what you guys are doing is, a huge compliment to us, to the CRM system, to any CRM system, whether it's Boomtown or Follow Up Boss or, any of them, like whatever, as a team leader, broker owner, whatever, or even a coach, like you need transparency into what your agents are doing. So, like our ROI on our Boomtown platform is only getting better. What's really cool, and I'm sure you guys are going to ask me this. So we started implementing Boomtown, we started implementing Sisu in parallel with Boomtown, and we started implementing it about 2 months ago. And we did our first, we like do call nights and these things called call jam sessions. Mm-hmm. And we did our first live competition on the Sisu platform, and our number of appointments went up 20% just because we were able to like gamify the our call nights and our call jam sessions. Like on an average call night, it typically lasts like probably about an hour to an hour and a half. I'd probably need to ask Dina how long they're going. It's either 60 or 90 minutes. And, like typically we'll have, 7 to 10 agents there prospecting, and, a kind of average number of appointments is between, 10 and 10 to 15, like 15 would be amazing. 15 would be an amazing, that'd be a big win. Anyways, so yeah, 10 to 15 is the range. That's before we like gamified the call nights and also these things we have called call jam sessions. And so anyways, 10 to 15 is like the range, 15 being awesome, 10 being like kind of a crappy call night. And so the first day Dina implemented the competitions within Sisu. They hit, and I'm going to bring Dina on to verify this. It was either 18 or 19 appointments. So it was 20% above our best call night ever by gamifying it. So mindset is creating a really competitive environment. And so we didn't have, we have this little whiteboard that like showed people's appointments. And then when we started broadcasting it on the TV and you could see people's appointments go up real time, like people started working even harder. Like they got in more of a competitive mindset and they started getting even better results. Cause, Dina would go up there, and people would hear the bell ring when somebody set an appointment. But like when you visually see that scoreboard and it's like being updated as people are on there, and the scoreboard, by the way, tracks, the calls and appointments. So it's like, man, there's a great book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. And one of those 4 disciplines is you have to have a scoreboard in the 4 disciplines of execution. And so like literally just by gamifying our call nights, we went from 15, which is like a really, really great call night, to it was either 18 or 19. I think the thing I would share with most people is what I was doing in the early days to be able to pull this off was I had a full-time person to be able to, give us the numbers. And, since we implemented Sisu and the RealSync integration across our business, like we've actually been able to reduce headcount. So like I don't have as many virtual assistants, and it's actually improved all of our processes, and it's helped improve. It's getting the agents to take more action because they see the scoreboards. It's a fun thing. They get in the right mindset. So we keep these scoreboards on the main sales floor in our office on the TVs, and they're up 24/7. They're being updated real time 24/7. And I'm not having to pay, $2,000 or $2,500 or whatever it was for VAs to be able to like import, export, update all of our systems, make sure people are doing stuff correctly. It's all done for me. A huge nugget I want to share with you guys is another huge thing that came about from implementing Sisu and getting it integrated with Boomtown via RealSync was we have other auxiliary lead gen systems. So Boomtown, for example, is generating leads for us, but we have other systems too. Like I'm using YLopo and what else? God, I have so many dang systems. I don't even remember most of them. Anyways,
You
I'm
guys
gonna
do
use my
anything? Do you guys do anything with OpCity, or have you guys not gone that route?
no, I'm not a big believer. Like, it's hard to make the economic model work for us. Like, our average price point's 300,000, and so it's hard to set the agents up for success when you're basically having them work at a
A
25%
referral.
discount. So anyway, so the really cool thing that happened to us is when we set up Sisu and integrated it with Boomtown, the integration through realsync.com, we were able to, we have this system called YLOPO, and it generates leads for us via Facebook. So like, they have this thing called Listing Rocket, and it'll push your listings and it'll create dynamic Facebook ads. So it integrates with the IDX, your MLS system. So whenever you get a new listing, they automatically create this really cool ad with the carousel photos for the coming soon stage, active, pending, sold. Anyways, great system. And so we started testing it about 6 months ago, and can't report on results yet because I'm only 6 months in. Conversion cycle with Facebook leads super long. Anyways, so long story short, another great tool that I love about Sisu is that because of the plumbing that gets created between these applications from RealSync, you guys are able to populate on Sisu where all my leads are coming from. So I was able to actually look at what lead sources were performing at each various stage in Sisu. So I could see, this agent was really good with this lead source. Like, this agent did X number of dials and appointments and contacts and deals under contract and closings, and they all came from here. So the other, I think another key component we haven't really talked about that was really cool was lead source tracking. And because of the plumbing that gets created from via RealSync, where it pulls in all of your data from YLOPO, for example, into Boomtown, you guys are able to extrapolate the lead sources for every closing, and then you can look at your ROI. That was another thing that was a huge pain in the to track was ROI, because you weren't ever for sure where the lead came from, and especially when you have multiple lead gen systems dumping leads into Boomtown. So that's another thing I loved about y'all's tool is the lead source reporting stuff.